The Celebrity Sizzler.
So yesterday, Britney Spears appeared via Zoom to try to go ahead and get this conservatorship out of her life. And it was quite the scene outside of the courtroom. Even though Britney Spears wasn't there, she was over Zoom. The Free Britney movement definitely came out to play.
What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! The conservatorship has got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
The conservatorship has got to go! Hey, hey!
Ho, ho!
The conservatorship has got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
The conservatorship has got to go!
So Britney had a lot of pretty noteworthy things that she talked about, including the moment she signed the conservatorship and one time when she was on tour in Vegas, just some weird stuff that happened.
People who did this to me should not get away and be able to walk away so easily. Recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney and by contract if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney, so out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I'd been doing Vegas for 4 years. But no, I was told this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 to 4 days a week. Half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in a Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show with my whereabouts, where I preferred to rehearse and actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of video with me at rehearsals. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals, and I never agreed to take my medication.
And more or less, Britney just says the whole thing has done her way more harm than good over the years.
So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have a 2 to 3 year break and just, do what I want to do. But I do feel like there is a crunch here, and I feel like I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it, but I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, I hear all these no's. No, no, no. And then all of a sudden I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. And that's all I wanted to say to you, and thank you so much for letting me speak to you today.
So it was, I think from a Britney perspective, a very successful speech and testimony that she gave, she turns 40 this year, by the way, and one of the more disturbing things she had to say, apparently at one point she claims an IUD was implanted against her will, so there's just a lot of things that are coming out now that it's like, why is this the first we're hearing about this? So hopefully this is the time that, hashtag free Britney.
It's crazy to see, all these things that she's been through and, to actually hear her voice about it, because it's all been through these documentaries and speculation. But one of the people who, follow her and religiously on Instagram and actually started the movement, one of the girls, she talks about getting off the phone, that Britney is actually surrounded by a room of people who are the ones who put her in this position in the first place. So that's why she's always been so scared to speak up. And she's been doing all these random Instagram stories to try and give clues that she's struggling and in trouble, because they've been kind of watching her and not even letting her be alone.
So who is that call with, though?
I think it was for the judge.
It's for the court, yeah.
They're actually in the process of it now. I just knew they were working on it. I didn't know if it actually went back.
It's like her testimony or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Well, last year, Netflix blessed us with Love is Blind, and now they are coming out with another dating show, and it's kind of like Love is Blind because you need to fall in love with this person based on their personality. It's called Sexy Beast, and it's going to be coming out July 21st, and it's actually based on a British reality show that happened back in 2014. That one, though, only lasted one season. They're hoping this one will last longer. But the contestants are going to be wearing full makeup and mask, and they're going to be dressed as creatures, dolphins, pandas, a devil. So you need to see if you could fall in love with someone based on their personality alone, not their actual looks. And while their face is covered, you could kind of still, I guess, judge them on their body.
Kinda. Do you feel like you could fall in love with like a Sasquatch or something?
I think it would
Yeah,
be...
she probably could have
Maybe,
Sasquatch.
but I think it would be too awkward. Like, don't you think you would be laughing?
Probably. We do have a video. If you look at the Playhouse blog at y94.com, there's like a trailer up for it, and some of these costumes are just ridiculous.
The dolphin one is ridiculous.
They are
weird.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, they're a little creepy.
Look
I
at
don't know if
fin.
I
That's a
think
good
that.
fin. Real nice fin.
Well, we heard the other day, Nick, AJ, Lance, and Joey went together and they did this little performance for Pride, raised $1 million. But they say it's not going to be the last time they perform together. Apparently, the four of them do want to do something where they do go on tour, and then if they want to have other members of NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, they can be involved along the way too. They're just the only four that can commit to an entire tour. However, they've been, especially Lance, really wanting to get Justin Timberlake to get on board with it. And so they asked him about it yesterday, and he sat down and he said,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You know when New Kids on the Block came back and they started touring again? They
Still kinda had it?
They had it. A couple of them have it, but most of them don't.
Don't really have it. Well, rounding out the Playhouse Celebrity Sizzler today, Jerry Seinfeld, very much kind of what he's wanted to be involved in ever since Seinfeld went off TV some years ago. Well, he is going to be in a comedy that's getting produced for Netflix, and it's going to be called Unfrosted. And I can't quite figure out what it's going to be about, but it's apparently based off a stand-up routine that he did in a recent Netflix special all about Pop-Tarts. And it sounds, oh my computer froze. It sounds like this.
When I was about 8, they invented the Pop-Tart. The back of my head blew right off. Right? Do you remember? Like what? I was in the supermarket aisle with my mother, and I'm like, hold it, hold up, hold everything. What the hell is that? Fruit-filled frosted rectangles in a box, the same. The food is in the shape of the box. What is this? You open the box, they're not even in there. They're in packets. Remember the packets? Lined with some kind of metallic alloy from NASA to protect them from gamma rays, and Russian satellites might shoot at your brown sugar cinnamons. You had to protect the... And you open the packet. How many were in the packet? 2. Why 2? One's not enough. 3 is too many. That's why.
So
It was perfect.
I love Jerry Seinfeld, I do. And sure, that's funny enough. What in the world is that movie going to be about? It's about Pop-Tarts.
I don't know. I think whatever it is, it'll be funny because he's involved in it.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what they could do with that.
Unwrapped, Mark Summers. This time, Jerry Seinfeld. I'll show you how Pop-Tarts are made.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like a movie.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be about that.
It's supposed to be like a movie.
Maybe
like a
it's
comedy.
that experience, him walking in the grocery store with his mom, and how Pop-Tarts changed his life.
I feel like that'll take 5 minutes.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a movie where Ashton Kutcher spends 2 hours looking for his car. So, I mean, there's been dumber movies. Plenty of entertainment stories posted throughout the day online at y94.com. Talking baby moons in a couple of minutes. Care, don't care on the way to Love Doctors.
You're in the Playhouse on Y90.